Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LTH product briefing. I'm Nikki Shaver, the CEO of Legal Tech Hub, and I am delighted today to have with me Nam Nguyen, the co-founder of Truth Systems. Welcome, Nam.
I am so glad to be here.
Well, I'm really, truly so pleased to have you on, Nam. For the audience, Nam and I have been working together for some time now, and I've been excited by what you're building ever since I met you. So it's really a joy to be at the stage where we're able to share this more broadly with the industry. Can you tell everyone a little bit about Truth Systems? What is it and why does it matter?
Currently building Truth Systems and our product charter, which is a unified governance solution that monitors AI use and immediately flags potential policy violations to end users.
Awesome. So it's like an AI governance system that really can sit across all of your AI tools, right?
Yes, essentially it is this monitoring system that sits in the background and enforces possible guardrails when it sees any possible violations.
Amazing, Num. Well, without further delay, why don't we take a look at the system?
All right, perfect. I'm super happy to jump right in.
And while you're doing that, Num, I will just say you are a Y Combinator company. Congratulations for this year.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
That's
And
wonderful.
no, it's been super exciting to be shipping our product super fast with the motives of, okay, how do we move fast and be responsible as well? And I think that's just been such a key theme for us over at Truth Systems. But yeah, I think, to the first part of the product, we really just want to show the ability for us to centralize and manage firm policies as well as outside counsel guidelines. So before I get into all of this, I want everybody to imagine the traditional AI policy usage document at each firm, how that looks like. It's something that is shared or stored somewhere on SharePoint. Everybody talks about it. Everybody reminds you that you should read up on it. But at the end of the day, not everyone remembers what it actually entails. And we have built a platform here that encodes these static policies into enforceable guardrails based on AI usage that is powered by smaller language model. So as you can see here, there are some relevant guardrails that you can toggle on or off. And this is like a lot of stuff such as not allowed to use AI for hiring decisions, making sure you're not doing legal research for tools not meant for it, and then even data security guardrails such as not allowing confidential files, discussing privileged communications, or even talking through PII, or even sensitive stuff such as firm strategy or pricing. Now, I think another differentiator for us is we help you to go inside and manage these policies on a client and matter basis. So let's just say out here, I'm going to pick the client Meridian Financial Core. One of the biggest pain point when we go to the innovations folks, InfoSec and Office of General Counsel teams, they've talked about how different clients may have varying opinion on AI. Some really embrace it, but some don't want their attorneys to be using it at all. And we've built our platform to ingest those different opinions and help you remain compliant with every single of your client terms. So as you can see here, I can just upload the policies. And before that, I'll show what each client would look like. Right now, I have a bunch of configurations for software access being turned on. But let's just say Meridian sent me an email with the documents of, hey, this is the new update outside counsel guidelines, where we might want you to be able to quickly make sure that no AI is used on our matter and make sure that only the approved ones are being used. So as you can see here, we have just some very quick models on the platform end to analyze that, hey, these are the general prohibitions. There are matters that our clients really don't want us to use AI on, checking if there's already vendor approvals beforehand, switching on applicable guardrails if needed, and then finally basically configure all our software access to be reflective of the outside counsel guidelines. So as you can see here, we switch off all the software access to be restricted. Let's just say if I was working on a matter and I already got ChatGPT right here, just for a simple example, approved by the client. So the client has sent me a document saying, hey, ChatGPT has been approved on this end, and I upload it. And basically the models just make sure that, okay, this document is ensured that ChatGPT is approved. We log it in the process. And this is kind of just a bulletproof way for us to help your law firm show to your clients, we are doing the best thing by your interest, and we're making sure that we're respecting your guidelines. So as you can see here, ChatGPT has proven to be switched over to allowed. And that is the way that we are looking to allow all of our law firms to abide by their outside guidelines.
And so Nam, you do this per client matter. So as you get client, and are you able to upload client guidelines in bulk and have this applied across client and client matters?
So that is definitely a functionality that we would be looking out to integrate in the future. And we're looking way above where, hopefully our goal is to integrate with your practice management systems and your SharePoint to automatically detect and grab all these policies. So you don't have to do a lot of these document uploads anymore. But just for now, even though it's a little bit more manual, we're just asking people to upload before we can fully build out these integrations.
Got it. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. So, as you all probably would be asking from looking at these different policies, you may ask, oh, okay, so what does the lawyers actually see? Now, for software usage enforcement, basically, you can see this. If I was to go back to ChatGPT, for example, firms can opt to select to install this first log layers before we head to each website. So, we ask for each lawyer or each employee to log the client and the matter that is relevant to this case. So in here, let's just take back our example of Meridian Healthcare Partner, right? So if you remember, we've already switched on access for ChatGPT. So if you can see here, I'm going back for the Greenway matter that we were looking at earlier, and the attorney can just freely proceed. However, if we are looking into a slightly different matter, which is like the pharmaceutical licensing deal, because this matter hasn't been approved yet by the clients, there will be a flag to say, hey, you might potentially be violating your client terms. And we're also showing, hey, this is our acceptable use of technology policy. So you understand that, hey, if I'm bypassing this wall, I am willingly understanding that like these are the implications, or I have obtained explicit consent from the partner to use this tool. So now that we are in the systems, I'd like to paint a scenario out to everyone. Let's say I'm Nikki, I'm a junior associate. I've worked 80 hours this week and I'm working on this massive equity financing deal. And I just need to draft this email to my managing partner, Lulu, for her approval on my first pass red lines. Now, I'll probably just go ahead and ask ChatGPT to rewrite this email for me. And I will paste maybe something that I have like quickly drafted up, essentially. And as you can see here, I am discussing basically unintentionally privileged communications information, talking about Meridian's pending bid for Cascade Health. And I think this is the type of mistakes that if you're tired and it's late in the morning, like you won't be able to spot this and could potentially cause a data leakage. However, because our agent is operating silently in the back, detecting the appropriate guardrails, it could flag to end users as necessary that, hey, you are violating privileged communications policy in this end. Now, because our agent is operating on your browser and on your device, this information never left your premise, and the risk is mitigated at the interaction level. Another feature that we also have the ability to ensure, as you can probably see in our firm policies pages, was the ability to ensure that attorneys are using the right tools for its intended purposes. Now, having worked in doing hallucination detections, we saw that most of the hallucinated briefs that we've seen, it was actually due to the reckless use of public tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or even tools that are not meant for legal research. So let's just say if I might want to be looking into a legal research query, I've been very fascinated by the Anthropic case recently of transformative use. And I would ask ChatGPT right here, a legal research question. Now, we can also flag right in the back to see that, hey, here you're asking a legal research question on not the right tool. So I think this just kind of goes to show for us that, hey, a big part of responsible AI and making sure that people are doing the right thing is using AI responsibly is also about using the right AI tool for the right use case as well. And I think this is what our guardrails is there to be meant for, making sure that people are going to the right software, using it correctly, and using it for the right use case.
Just to clarify, so the two examples you just showed, those would come from the overall firm policies that have been uploaded into the system when you implement at the firm, right? So you already know the rules that are then baked into truth systems of which systems are considered appropriate for what purposes, what type of use is allowed in which systems for what purposes, as well as the ability to upload individual client policies for different client matters. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. And I think that is a very, I guess, big perks about working with us in this early days. It's that we're very committed to understanding, hey, how does like responsible AI look like for your own firm? And we would go in and understand very thoughtfully, like, which are the policies you want to implement and how do you want to implement these policies so that we can then transfer all these knowledge to programmatically encode it into our platforms that is delivered just for your law firms.
And I think it's very clever because it's effectively, it's operating at the client matter level and it's also operating at the tool level. So it provides that kind of dual level of security. And the splash screen that you showed at the outset where the end user is entering the client matter number, that would apply regardless of which AI tool. As long as the AI tool is covered by Truth Systems, you would see that splash screen, whichever one of those tools the lawyer was entering. Is that correct?
Exactly. I think this idea for us is the way we're kind of going about building our product as well is lawyers and end users are only aware about truth systems when they're about to commit something that could be catastrophic. So that's the way that we feel like we work with lawyers.
That's great. I mean, it really provides this reassurance to the firm that their lawyers will be operating in accordance with guidelines across all of their internal AI tools. And I like that little alert trust layer active as well. And apologies, I'm probably jumping the gun here, but when you see these policy violations and notifications, do administrators on the firm side also know when, for example, a lawyer has decided to proceed in spite of a notification, or is there a way of tracking usage as well?
100%. So that just walks us into the next part of my demo is how can we leverage these data points that would have been liabilities into a competitive advantage. So the best part about Truth Systems is that we log all of these violations into an immutable audit trails that you can review. So, these violations now you can like quickly look and approve like, hey, this could be a valid violations. This is not, just to help us like either fine tune and improve our model, but to also understand that, hey, are we implementing policies that are overly restrictive or just like straight up way too loose? And then because of these different interactions that we are capturing, we can then look into where and when these violations are occurring, which violations are the most prominent, which clients are, facing the most issues, and then allowing firm to provide basically targeted training and iterate on how they're building policies on AI. So looking at this into the picture of the overall, like how do we drive adoptions, we can look at like policy updates as part of the overall pictures on how AI adoption is being used at your firm. So in that way, we would hope that Truth Systems could be a way where adoption is the result of AI governance, not in spite. And I think the extra part for us as well is that like, hey, these are all the bulletproof materials that you can show to your clients that you are doing the best thing by them. So in these both way of just driving efficiency, responsibilities, you're also winning deals because you can show the clients that, hey, we have all these access and controls in place to make sure that we are going about this transformative technology as responsible as possible.
Really, really great. Thank you, Nam. I know this is a major problem for firms. So the fact that you can solve both the client terms issue and policy compliance, which incorporates generally regulatory compliance and tracking of usage, as well as of potential concerns around usage. Really, really exceptional.
Thank you so much. And yeah, honestly, we do credit to our early partners as well as our work with Dr. Megan Ma, as well as Nikki and Jeroen at Legal Tech Hub to help us understand the pictures. And we understand that we are not lawyers ourselves, but we are very committed to building this future where every single person can use AI responsibly. Every firms can confidently adopt AI responsibly to go and get into this new future where it is not move fast and break thing, but it is move fast and be responsible.
I love that. So Truth Systems is officially launching, and we will also put contact details across the bottom of the screen as usual, so you can reach out to Nam and his co-founder Alex to learn more. I will also say on Nam's behalf that Truth Systems is already working actively with a number of large firms in the US, but is officially launching to market as we speak, as it were. So it's an exciting time for Truth Systems. Nam, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you so much, Nikki, for having me here.
It's a pleasure. And thank you everyone for watching. See you next time.